This is part 2 of the Kim-100 walkthrough videos I'm doing on this fantastic homebrew 1970s computer. So this keyboard is a 7-bit ASCII keyboard that is completely handmade. It's a high-tech physical keyboard that's been hand-wired to a handmade 7-bit ASCII decoder. This plugs into the Zytek's SCT-100 video terminal board, which allows serial connection to the Kim behind here, and then composite video out, which would have gone to an RF modulator that's hidden in the back of the computer, but for now I've got it coming out straight to a composite video so that I can run it on a monitor here and see what's going on. So yeah, so when you power it up, you can hear the fans starting to go now. The screen clears of garbage and then leaves you with a prompt up the top there. So you've got to hit reset on the Kim and then just hit enter, and then you'll get the Kim prompt. So those of you that do use a Kim already recognize this. This is the folder that came with it, the Kim-100 system, and you'll see in here how detailed the previous owner was. This is the ASCII keyboard encoder that's sitting inside there, with every key mapped and decoded. All right, that's all pencil drawn rather nicely. That's the layout of the board. Don't know what that is. Not quite sure what that is. You'll see 18. Someone might work out what that is. I might type that in later and see what it does. So this is the Kim-100 interface. This is version 2. And again, this is the interface card that is inside here. All drawn out in pencil very neatly, and this appears to be, this one's inked. I'm not sure, that previous page was version 2, so this is version 2.1, so obviously worked out the kinks. I have to assume that the interface card that's in there is the version 2, but anyway, you can see this is the interfacing logic to the 50-pin connector there for S100. This is your buffering and control lines, but then, you know, the card also contains the EEPROM sockets as well, so this is just a subset of what else is on there. And then we have a printer output port at address 16FF, and then that's a version 2 again, so maybe some improvement there. And this is the layout of the board. So this is an off-the-shelf Vector board, 8300V, with all the chips laid out and all very nicely taken care of. This is an undocumented RAM board, I think RAM board, that's currently sitting in there but not doing anything, and there is no schematic for that one. But what we do have is a rather interesting Kim-100 front panel schematic. So this was maybe planned but not built. Not entirely sure. And this is a rather nice 2708 EEPROM programmer should I say. Again, this looks like this was a fully built piece, but was not with the system, and it is on a standalone board. It's not hiding anywhere else inside the computer. And then the rest of the paperwork inside here. So here's the this is the Pixiverter, which takes that composite video that we have here inside there, and, you know, makes a crude NTSC RF modulator. This is the instructions for the backplane that the Kim is interfaced to. And again, this is off-the-shelf Vector 8803 motherboard. This is the Godbout EconoRAM 2 datasheet, which is rather useful with schematics and everything. Like so. This is the extender board and logic probe from Bob Mullen, which is also in there. So that was obviously built and is used and put to one side. This is an ADC of some kind. I'm not quite sure what the point of that was, but an incomplete circuit drawn. So there's that. And this is the TVT4 TV typewriter. So I don't know if this was taken as a reference, just a photocopied sheet. We have this strange System 44 bus, which I don't think matches the Kim 44 bus expansion, but it's a sort of a layout drawing for that. And then there's some 6502 user notes, which were, you know, mail order or whatever. So that, yeah, some interesting stuff in there for sure. And that's about it for the paperwork folder. But anyway, yeah, it's super nice to have the original drawings for how this thing was built, and of course a great reference for should I need to repair it. Right now, I'm not entirely. The 1K RAM on the Kim is working fine. There might be a possible bad RAM on the Godbout EconoRAM board because I started to get some failures up in the higher addresses. So I'll have to run something on that, but I'll find out what's wrong with that another time. But for now, yeah, this is what it does.